Hey girl.
How are you?
Very good. How about yourself?
I'm good. I just have to start off.
I was about to put my seatbelt on.
Oh, you can, however you're comfortable. But I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart to you and your team and my AT&T family.
Yes.
Thank you guys for setting this up. I rolled up on Keke at the AT&T Flagship store on Michigan Avenue. She hopped in, and now we're just about to chop it up.
Exactly. And this is a very comfortable car. Very cute. Well kept.
Thank you. I appreciate you. So a lot of people were introduced and grew up with you Nickelodeon.
Yes.
Then you stole our hearts with Aquila and the Bee. And then I'm so happy I finally can tell you, girl, you killed Chili in TLC
gosh,
Biopic.
thank
You killed the role. All the castmates, you did it. Now you have roles on Star and Berlin Station and MTV Scream, you guys coming up. And then Pimp, which
Very
is
excited.
also
Getting ready to go to Tribeca. I'm so excited about that.
and then a third album, The Boss. So how does a girl go from Harvey, Illinois to Hollywood?
Man, well, you know, it's so crazy. It's a very crazy story because, you know, I was born in Ingalls Hospital in Harvey, grew up in Robbins. My mom is from Robbins. Her mom, you know, raised her and her sisters and brothers in Robbins. And so that was pretty much where I thought I was going to spend the rest of my life, in Robbins, Illinois. You know, very small, poor town, but a lot of heart. You know, I grew up in the church. And, you know, growing up, my parents were always very open about their love for the arts. They both met in theater. My mom taught speech even after graduating from school and stuff like that. So it was something that was very normal for our family to always be thinking and talking about. And so when it came up, you know, that they were doing Lion King in Chicago theater, my mom knew I liked to sing in church, and she was like, maybe she'd be interested in something like this. And that's how I was first what's the word I'm looking for? Introduced, where I'm like, that was when I was first introduced to it myself, and I really fell in love with just acting and entertaining and whatever that meant. And you know, as crazy as it sounds, I kept staying on my parents about it. You know, I got my mom ended up getting me an agent. I auditioned for Barbershop 2, where I got my first part playing Queen Latifah's niece. You know, this is Burn. I'm a auntie. You know, and then from there, we actually drove to California and to help me pursue my dreams. And then, you know, I ended up doing a movie called The Wool Cap, which was for TNT. And then from there, I did Aquila and the Bee, which was, you know, with Lionsgate. And then I did Medea's Family Reunion. And then, you know, I ended up entering the whole Kid Corp world, which was Disney Channel and Nickelodeon. And that's where a lot of people really became extremely close to me, because, you know, I'm on the TVs every day.
Yeah. So you just laid out the resume. How do you maintain, what's the key to keeping longevity? Because you have some years under you look great, but you got years under your belt. So what's the key to having longevity in the entertainment industry?
To remain true to you, to remain true to yourself, you know, to take roles or to take on things that you feel like are truly coming from your heart, and not doing them for the money or allowing the industry to weigh you down or make you feel as if, you know, you have to be somebody else. I think that's really why I've been able to, you know, sustain this, because I've always remained true to myself. I've always remained close to my family. I've always made sure that I stayed focused on real life experiences and didn't allow myself to just get too, you know, the Hollywood, being in the industry, a lot of times your lifestyle can become Hollywood, even when you don't want it to be.
Right.
And that's something that I've always been very resistant to, because I think it's important, in order to be inspired and to stay creative, to have real life experiences, not just everything being equated with fame and popularity and financial success.
Okay. Something else that I want to go back to the barbershop and your time with Ice Cube that's really relevant for right now. I heard you talk about in an interview some wisdom Ice Cube imparted on you, and with the Time's Up movement going on right now, unfortunately a lot of people are coming out and talking about these people with power that are abusing their positions. So can you let us know, what did Ice Cube tell you on that set? That is invaluable for right now?
Yeah, he told me, he said, you know, because I was very young, but still growing into, I was coming from a child in the transition of going into a grown woman. I think I was 14, you know, but at that point I had done already a Barbershop 2 with him, so this is our second time working together. Right. And he was like, you know, he saw how I, you know, greeted people and the way that I was so flamboyant and stuff like that. Somebody's literally taking a picture of us. Okay. Hilarious. And so pretty much he told me, he said, look, you know, he brought me into the room and he said, I just want to say, I know you're very, open, loving kind of person. I know you're being kind and saying, hey, everybody, you hug and you greet them. But you just need to know, you may not realize in the ways that you're growing. You may not understand the way that people are looking at you. But it's important that you understand you are growing into a woman. And even if you don't see that, other people do. And, pretty much if you're not aware of that power and what that means, then people will take advantage of you.
Okay.
And I didn't really know how to, I was afraid because I was like, am I in trouble, but I knew what he was saying, that it was something that a father would say. It sounded like something that my dad would say to me, and I didn't really know exactly what to do with the information, but it always stayed with me.
Yeah.
And of course, as I got older, I was really able to understand how valuable that piece of information was.
And shout out to all the men out there, because they're getting a bad rap right now. But like Ice Cube, yes, but like Ice Cube, they took you to the side that love, imparted that on you.
Yeah. So a lot of men have been. I feel like I've had a good experience, especially in my childhood. As I've gotten older, I think women start to realize about that kind of uncomfortable stuff as they become adults. I don't think we often feel that way as a kid. I think some young girls have, especially if they're developed and stuff like that, which is unfortunate. But as a kid, I experienced a lot of positive experiences, and it wasn't until I became an adult that I realized what sexual harassment or any of that type of stuff was.
Okay. Well, I know everyone's like trying to pull you. They want you to come, but the last thing I want to touch on, because I know you have to go, and I really appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
Is when people see you, you exude beauty and confidence and so much success, and no one would probably think you struggle with anxiety and depression.
Oh my gosh,
Can you just give all the people out there some advice if they are struggling with those two things on what they can do?
Yeah, so I wrote a book about a lot about those themes specifically. It's called I Don't Belong to You, and it's when I kind of realized that this is something that I think all humanity deals with, and especially depending on your cultural background, your generation. I think our generation specifically has we're being attacked with anxiety and depression because of the internet and social media and how it's just affecting our psyches and stuff. And then as a black girl in America, and coming from the area I come from, and all these different things, what my family has dealt with, anxiety has been something that my family has dealt with, and you didn't really get the opportunity to name them, especially if you're coming from a small town like I came from, and you don't really have, it kind of just falls to the wayside, and it's labeled as you're lazy or you're crazy or you're in a bad mood or whatever it may be. And being able to have all the resources that I had growing up in LA and getting the opportunities, I was able to read and come up on different things. And anxiety and depression were some of the things that I realized would phase in and out of my life. And for me, I realized that it's not about labeling yourself. It's about saying, I'm a human being, and I'm gonna always go through this kind of stuff. It's just like going and get a physical. You getting your physical. You have to do that for your mind too. Your mind is going through so many different things. Yeah. And for me, it's like, don't make yourself feel like you're crazy. Don't make yourself feel bad about it. Anxiety, depression, worry, stress, it's all a part of life. And just take it head on. Accept it and embrace it. And that's when you'll be able to move forward from it.
Okay, well, they're telling me I gotta get you. I gotta get you out of here.
Right. Okay.
So I thank you, and I appreciate you. Keep doing your thing, and much love to you. Thank you for this.
Thank you. You're so beautiful too, by the way, girl. Style and everything on flight.
Hey. Bye.